Good morning, guys. So today is Tuesday and I need to get some things harvested to put in the farm stand, and then I'm taking the kids to a just a little fun thing that I signed them up for at the local library. So the first thing I have to do is get these animals done. It's early, everybody's still asleep. Just kind of letting the kids sleep in a little bit today. Emily wasn't feeling so hot. Hopefully she feels a little better today, but she had pretty bad headache yesterday. She had a really stuffy nose, so I think she's just got a little cold going on. We'll see how she feels when she wakes up. Anyway, what else? I'm gonna go check on the squash over here. I saw a few that were probably about this big, and as you guys know, squash can just get out of control really fast. So I keep an eye on it every day, trying to keep those flowers open so that the bees can find their way in there, which they are doing their job. If you guys remember last year at this time when I was trying to grow squash over in this back garden where the goats are now, nothing was growing. And we came to the conclusion that we had no bees. Like when we were in the apartment, bees were everywhere and everything flourished there. Here, you would think lots of woods everywhere, even across the street, woods everywhere around here, that there would be a lot of bees, and well, at least not on our property. So we brought the bees in. And that is another thing I will be checking after, is we check on them periodically, make sure everybody's healthy, nothing's going on, and that they're still doing what they're here to do. But they are definitely pollinating this squash. The tomatoes are now really exploding, the size of the plants. And a few plants have tomatoes on them. They're little guys right now, but they're there. So we need to trellis these tomatoes. That is not something I'll probably do today. I don't have the time. It's funny because I was talking about which plants were doing what right now, and it struck me in how many tomato plants we have. We actually have so many tomato plants growing. It's kind of crazy. But I did that on purpose. I wanted a lot because not only will I sell them in the farm stand, but I make tons of spaghetti sauce. I can it, and tomato soup, and I mean, just everybody uses tomatoes for everything, right? So that's why I have tomatoes everywhere, and it's kind of crazy. I have all of these back here. I don't even know how many plants I have back here. I have 3 beds of them in the front. There's 3 beds of tomato plants in there. They vary from different kinds. So there's Roma and beefsteak and cherry and all that stuff, and back here too. Then I have them all along that front fence, all along this front fence, and then I actually planted some with some other things around the farm stand. So there's literally tomatoes in every garden. There's even tomatoes in our potatoes, which I did not plant. Those are volunteers from Aiden's garden last year, because that's where it was. I welcome them all. Oh, by the way, guys, do you see? This is like really big, and it's a lot bigger than I thought. So I am gonna kind of condense that down just a bit on the design, but we got our shirts. So I have started a new campaign through bonfire.com. If anybody's interested, there are t-shirts. This is like a dual, so it's men or women, it doesn't matter, t-shirt, but there are for women, for men, for kids. There's hoodies, really comfortable too. I love this shirt. But yeah, the only difference I'm going to do is scale down the logo a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. Other than that, love it. Alright, let's get these guys going. We got a new batch of little ones 2 days ago, and there's 25 of them, so we're going to check on them first, make sure they're all set. I like it when meat birds are tiny because they're way easier to take care of and don't stink as much. It's like I have to constantly be on meat chickens because they make a mess really fast. And we have a system down which is working great actually. Look at that. The feed and water is still full, which is great. Every day I will come in, and you can see these little guys. I will come in and I will take this that I made, a little platform I made, and take it out and let them eat. There's feed underneath that. They spill a lot of feed through those holes. So I actually will take that out and let them eat the feed that is under there first, and then I'll put their other feed back in. One thing with this system that we have down now with these chicks, almost 0 casualties. It's working out really well. And we actually haven't been using the side brooder because all of the chicks before we got yesterday have already graduated to the tractor. So there was no need to put them in the side one. They could just go straight into here. This coming weekend, if we get more, they will go into the side brooder until these guys are old enough to go out. Alrighty, let's go get our, I'm trying to think who to do first. Probably the goats. Lily goes a little crazy when she hears me out here. You can probably hear her. When she hears me out here and I haven't let her out yet, she gets loud. She knows I'm out here. Alright, these guys, meat chickens. So, one thing we're doing, we are trying to figure out, there's still no fences, guys. I'm sure if you're looking for fences, there's still none available. At least I can't get any. We have to separate these turkeys from the meat chickens because they're beating them up, pecking them. One of them they made bleed. So we have to separate the turkeys from them. So what we've been doing right now is letting the little guys out and feeding them separately, putting the turkeys in and feeding them separately so that they're not beating up on them, and just keeping them separate all the time. They're out at night in the electric fence because otherwise they crush these guys. So we're making do with what we have because there's still a shortage, for whatever reason, of these electric fences. Another thing is we have to, see that right there? That goes out to the front, but it also, if you go over that way past the trees, that's our neighbor. And so what we're trying to do is we've come up with the idea, because our little hens keep going in their yard and they're getting through and getting over to their yard, and they have dogs, and she's worried about the dogs killing the hens. So we had the idea of taking the same netting that we used for the gardens over here, which you're not going to be able to really see, but it's there. It's this black netting. It's actually deer netting. And we're going to run that from our fence post here and all the way around and through the trees here, and attach it to her fence on that side. You won't really be able to see it because it's just like a mesh. And it should solve the problem of these hens getting in her yard. I've started soaking feed, and I'm doing that for a couple reasons. One is it's supposed to be better for the animals. They're supposed to be able to get their nutrition out, but also you get more. I think it's 25% more feed if you soak it. So I have been soaking it, and it is true. It swells right up, and the animals seem to like it. All the chickens seem to be fine with it. So these guys are getting restless. I'm gonna go ahead and get them done first, and then I'll get the hens done. Alright, these guys are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the harvesting done now. I gotta get all of the lettuces ready and washed and bagged and everything for the farm stand. And I just got a call actually from the library, and they canceled today's event that I was going to take the kids to. They pushed it back to next Tuesday because apparently there's a potential chance of rain. Didn't even know. That frees me up a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and look at this. Those squash plants have exploded, and where are we at? Tomatoes. See why I need to get those trellised? They're pretty big. I'm looking at them like, there's a whole bunch of little guys on there. Whole lots of little tomatoes! Guys, am I the only one who gets really excited when the fruit starts to come out on anything? I have like a broccoli head up there, and the cabbage is starting to curl. We've got tomatoes everywhere. The squash, it's like the best feeling ever. All right, so I am back here at the squash, and I'm trying to look to see if there is any. I feel like I'm always squatting down trying to see you guys. See if there's anything ready in here. I don't think there is yet, and also you can see there's a spaghetti squash. I don't know if you guys can see that somewhere over here. I can't even see it in the screen. That's kind of coming through. I've been taking those and trailing them in a different direction so that they're not impeding on the tomatoes or the other squash. I left them open to an open side here in between the tomatoes and squash on purpose so that I could trail them. They will trail out this way and that way. Oh wow, I'm just noticing way over there, those are pumpkins. Look how big they're getting. That's pretty cool. Not nearly as many came up as I planted the seeds, but that's because woods equals birds. They steal the seeds. Hoping that the chipmunks, our cat is doing a really good job with keeping these chipmunks away. Between that and the fence, we're not having too much of a problem. I think we're having more issues with these little worms I keep finding on them that are eating the leaves. Other than that, not really much of a deal. Look it! Yay! That makes me so happy. And you can see there's more. We got over here. They're just everywhere. Yay, bees are doing their jobs this year. That is one of the best investments we made was bees. Look at this. So awesome. So not ready quite yet, but like that one in particular, probably not too far off. And I don't want them huge. Of course, you know, they're really big, you get more, but then they start to lose their flavor. So I want them a good size, but I still want them to be a little bit on the smaller side, not too small. There's another one over here. Yep. All right, guys, I'm like thrilled about this. This is so amazing. One thing I'm going to do real quick is move that. Maybe you can see it from here. I still can't tell on here where it is, but you can see it popping through for the spaghetti squash. So I'm going to move it out like I do almost every day. Onions over here, still doing their thing. I thought we were having an issue with them, and hopefully we're not. But I did look it up, and they have like another month to go with growing over here. I have been harvesting the scapes off of them. I've been selling them and using them because they're perfectly good to use. I actually really like them. But we'll see what happens as far as onions themselves. I know they're supposed to pop out of the ground. I did a lot of prep on this bed in particular with the onions. So I'm really hoping it works. I don't know. We do have volunteer potatoes, as you can see in here. I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. Strawberries are doing well. We just kind of pick them as they come and eat them because we have 15, I think, strawberry plants, and those will eventually vine out. It's just gonna take a little bit. All right. Tomatoes, let's check over here. When I move this, I also have a lot of basil in with these tomatoes and green onion. A couple might be ready actually. I'm gonna have to look a little closer, but for now, I mean, look, you can see. Look. Babies. I think these might be Aroma. That's what they look like. I planted a lot of those because I like to make spaghetti sauce, and it's like the best one to make spaghetti sauce with. Sorry about that. It's stuck. Alright, that wasn't part of my plan, but I harvested a bunch of basil. It needed it. So I'm gonna go inside real quick and put this in some water, and then it's gonna go into the dehydrator to dry, and can you guess? Put in the farm stand. Alright, lettuce time. Honestly, lettuce is probably the least favorite thing of mine to harvest. It's only because it's a pain to wash. To me, it's a pain because I wash it like 4 times, whether it's for us or to sell. I am like meticulous about washing lettuce.